Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days. For today's second video, day 10 will take us to the 17th of October. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe we'll have a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFS-B2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. Gets us to the beginning of November. And I should get over that for you in a moment. Just say that first video in sales, our 6 AM UK weather forecast. Please like, share, and subscribe on both of today's videos. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. For GavsWeatherVids, thank you so much, everyone. Having a lovely Monday. Right, we're going to start off in the Atlantic. So, three hurricanes. Check these out. We have got Hurricane Leslie just here, which is currently giving maximum sustained winds of 90 miles per hour with a minimum set pressure of 980 millibars. Click on Leslie. We can see this will be downgraded to a tropical storm by the beginning of Tuesday, and by the end of the week we'll be going post-tropical. We don't have to worry too much about Leslie. We've also got Hurricane Kirk, Category 1 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 75 miles per hour. This will be going post-tropical imminently, and then post-tropical Hurricane Kirk, or post-tropical storm Kirk, will be moving into the Bay of Biscay by the middle part of the week, bringing a spell of wet and windy weather to France and also to the Low Countries. Looks like we escape most of the impacts from Kirk in the UK. Then we have got Hurricane Milton, which is already a high-end Category 3 hurricane, giving maximum sustained winds of 125 miles per hour with a minimum set pressure of 945 millibars in the Gulf of Mexico. Clicking on Milton and going here, we can see that major Hurricane Milton will be heading towards Florida very quickly through the course of this week. So by Wednesday, we'll be off the coast of Florida Wednesday afternoon, and then hitting Florida sometime late Wednesday, moving right over Florida during the course of Wednesday to Thursday, and then out into the Atlantic as a post-tropical storm at the end of the week. Now, how strong this is going to get? Remember, it's already a high-end Category 3, so if we go into discussion, so currently giving maximum sustained winds of 125 miles per hour. That will power up to giving maximum sustained of 145 miles per hour in 12 hours' time. That's Category 4. And, well, we get through to 24 hours out, and Milton will be, if the forecast is correct, giving maximum sustained winds of 155 miles per hour as it approaches Florida. That is almost a Category 5 hurricane, just 2 miles per hour off a Category 5 hurricane. No, this looks really, really serious. This is a really, really serious situation that we've got developing here with Milton. Obviously, anybody in the Florida Panhandle going to need to take care as Hurricane Milton, moves in very quickly through the middle part of the week. If anybody's watching this from Florida, then please heed the warnings from your National Weather Service and also government agencies in terms of how you can stay safe. This looks like a really, really bad scenario that's unfolding here. Could be catastrophic, in fact, by the time you get to the middle of the week, if that does make it to a Category 5 hurricane. As it is, Category 4 is devastating, of course. A very, very serious situation emerging there in the Gulf of Mexico and for Florida through the middle part of the week. Keep an eye on the forecast over the next few days. And again, if anybody's watching this from Florida, then please, please take care. Heed the warnings of your weather service and look after yourself. We'll keep you updated. Right, central England temperature is now sitting at 11.6. That's 1 degree above 61.99 average, and is provisional to yesterday, to the 6th of October. So, sorry everyone, these were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. Next couple of weeks, we're at London today. Red line is the 30-year upper air temperature actual London. We're starting off around to a little bit above average. The upper air temperature, they can be dropping though at the end of the week. Another one of these little northerly cold snaps coming up over the last stages of the week. And then into next week, we get a recovery in the upper air temperatures. They start lifting up and go above the long-term average again. Precipitation-wise, more wet weather to come over the next few days. So, yes, there's going to be further showers if not long spells of rain. Then we get the cold snap and it turns drier at the end of week and into weekend. And then next week looking a little bit more unsettled again, actually. Although maybe not as unsettled as it did look a few days ago. So we might see a return of some unsettled conditions the second half of October. But overall, that doesn't look too bad, I have to say. Temperature anomalies on the 7th to 15th of October, a little bit below average, slightly colder after week to come. And precipitation anomalies from the 7th to 15th of October, drier than average in western regions, near normal precipitation in the north and in the east. The latest wind from earth.nullschool.net shows I've got low pressures into western UK and Iron Day, and there is Category 1 Hurricane Kirk. Will be going post-tropical, of course, as it heads to Biscay into the middle part of the week. Let's drag this around, see if we can find Milton. So where are you, Milton? Here we go. There's the Gulf of Mexico. So if we zoom in, this is what a high-end Category 3 hurricane looks like in the Gulf of Mexico. That is Category 3 Hurricane Milton. As I say, by the time that moves towards Florida, there's Florida, of course, let's zoom out. So by the time that moves towards Florida, by the middle part of the week, that could be very close to, if not, a Category 5 hurricane. Goodness gracious me, going to be one to watch. Right, okay, so let's have a look at some chart data. This is our latest UK Met Euro. It's looking midnight on Thursday. Winds turning into the north. There's our cold snap from the north around the last stages of the week. Into the weekend, high pressure reaches into the south. Should bring some dry weather there. Meanwhile, the north stays quite unsettled, though. And then on into next week, well, still high pressure south, low pressure to the north. We start to pull up a milder southwesterly flow as well. So temperature should start to pick up through the early part of next week after that little cold snap. Icon, again, brings wind around from the north on Thursday. By the way, those were rains of Hurricane Kirk. Just there over France. So we have a near miss, but it looks like we stay out of trouble, really, from that area of low pressure now. Through the course of next weekend, we find high pressure building in from the Atlantic. Quite cold on about high pressure, though, so I reckon there will be some chilly nights to come at the weekend. A chance of some overnight frost. But next week, we probably start to pick up a southwesterly. Turns up milder, but we've got a ridge of high pressure, so that should keep things relatively dry. The KMA, again, has that northerly wind at the end of the week. Then we've got high pressure building in from off the Atlantic, mostly dry and about high pressure and relatively settled conditions too. The high pressure then starts slipping towards the east, but is reinforced by another high pressure. So the KMA turning really high and dry here through the middle and second part of October. Big change in the weather pattern there, with high pressure taking over. That's the turn up of the block, isn't it? What about the GFS? I'm so sorry, but what about the GFS midnight run? Again, got wind in from the north. Nobody does it like Gav. You don't hear that. That's a turn up for the bush. Don't hear that on the BBC, you see. Don't get that on the BBC. The Shaft doesn't do that. Don't get that with a shaft. No. But anyway, the GFS midnight run. Winds in from the north on Thursday. A little bit of a cold snap then. Into the weekend, we've got high pressure down the south, low pressure to the north. And so it's a bit more unsettled for the north, a little bit drier though down in the south. Comes some quite chilly nights, I think, at weekend as well. Next week, high pressure building over and to the east of the country, move up towards day 10. That should settle things down. The winds are swinging around to a southerly southeasterly. That should be quite a mild wind direction, so potentially quite a pleasant spell of weather actually next week. That's day 10, 17th of October. Whose birthday's that? I wonder. No, but we find wind going south. So that should be relatively dry and pleasant around day 10. And then back into milder, wetter and windy weather again as we move in through the third week of October. So any settled weather doesn't last all that long on the midnight run. Right, this is the GFS 6 by comparison. Again, we've got winds in from north on Thursday. Then high pressure reaching in from the Atlantic. Should bring a lot of dry weather to the south. Looks more unsettled with this low, though, up in the north. Could be some quite cold nights over weekend as well. Next week, it turns milder as the wind swings around to a southerly southeasterly direction. Still quite unsettled, though, with low pressure bringing further rain into the west. As we've got this ridge building over to the east, this is just what we don't need, really, because after all the wet weather had in September, because as this ridge builds to the east, of course, these low pressures with their weather fronts are going to be slowing down. If we start getting weather fronts coming up against an area of high pressure to the east, it will be a mild pattern with a southerly wind, but it could also be a very wet pattern as well. Oh dear. Well, anyway, we're going to the extended range, and we continue to look quite unsettled, really, as we go through the third week of October. Low pressure keeps on coming. Not much sign of the KMA's high pressure on either of the GFS runs so far today. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids, get them to subscribe too. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. We need to put on around 77 subscribers to get ourselves to 18.9k. So if you could give us a sub and tell your friends and family to subscribe, that'd be absolutely awesome. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. GM with winds in from the north on Thursday, looking quite cold and showery. Over the weekend, high pressure gradually starts meandering its way in from the Atlantic, but it will be quite a cold ridge, I think, so I expect some really quite chilly nights at the weekend, if that comes up. Now, the high pressure strengthens, actually, so there's the KMH high pressure, but GM is also going with that idea for days 8, 9 and 10. So by day 10, 17th of October, high pressure is well and truly in the ascendancy there. That's a big flip around. And then the ECM, how's that one looking? Again, winds are in from the north on Thursday. We go on into Friday and Saturday, with low pressure continuing being unsettled and quite cold weather to northern regions. The south could be a little bit drier into next week, where we try to build up some higher pressure from the southwest, but not really successfully doing so, not really convincingly doing so. And day 10 actually looks a little bit unsettled, so the ECM also not going with that high pressure idea today. This is a Precipitation Forecast based on that ECM run from TibetShow.com. Let's have a look at this one, have a butcher, shall we? We've got some very heavy rain coming up tonight, actually, across England and Wales. Watch out for some downpours if you're out and about tonight. And then tomorrow, heavy showers, if not longer spells of rain, could be some thunder mixed in with those. There's the rain from the remains of Kirk, staying nicely over the other side of the English Channel, so we just get away with that, just get away with it. There will be a cold front coming southwards though, of course the Thursday brings some outbreaks of rain and introducing those northerly winds. And then into the end of the week, high pressure starts to take over, so we turn drier over the weekend. Into next week, though, we're back to showery conditions, especially in the north and the west, with further rain pushing through around day 10. These are the yachts on the table within the ECM ensemble day for day 10 for the Icelandic Met Office. Gets us to the 17th of October. 17 members of the ECM ensembles with plenty of low pressure, bringing unsettled condition. Another 17 dealing with control on the operational row, with more in way of high pressure to the south and the southeast. Weather system coming through here. Though, and that will be bringing more changeable conditions. We've got 10 with low pressure to the west, high pressure to the east, and then we've got 7 with low pressure to the north and northeast, high pressure south and southwest, and winds are coming in from a westerly direction. Range of options, but I think they all look a little bit mixed, really, still around day 10. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. If it's going to flip over, come on, are you going to flip over for us? Let's do this. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Right, these are the options on the table in the ECM on day 4, day 10. No, what I'm talking about, these are the options 2 weeks out, rather. So the 2nd of October, it's all falling apart now. 24 members of the Eastern Drier, 24 members of the Eastern ensembles with low pressure across the UK and Ireland. Also a little bit unsettled with that one. 17 with low pressure to the northeast, high pressure to the southwest. That could be cool and showering. And then 10 going for that high pressure idea. So 10 have high pressure taking over by the 22nd of October, and that should bring a lot of dry weather with it. Could be a bit chilly though, winds in from the east. Lastly, said SB2, these are 500 millibar high times, bringing down into weekly periods. The first week period takes us from the 7th, from the 13th to the 13th of October. Looks unsettled in the northwest. You have plenty of low pressure in the week ahead. Week 2 is also looking unsettled. The 14th, 20th of October, still lots of low pressure coming in off Atlantic into West Europe. Week 3 is going to be the 21st, 27th of October. Low pressure then into the west of Europe, so still looking quite unsettled there. A bit of a change in week 4. It's the 28th of October, 3rd of November. High pressure then taking over around Iceland, and that will bring the wind around to an east or a northeasterly, so perhaps turning drier, but could also be turning colder there at the end of October and into start of November. Maybe a cold start to November. Be interesting, wouldn't it, if that happened? Anyway, it's 4 weeks off, so it's a long way away. We shall see. Time will tell. Right, we're done. If you have enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And show everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get them to subscribe to show everyone for doing that. As I say, 77 subscribers will get us to 18.9k. So thank you so much, everyone, for that. Right, I'll tell you what's happening on the channel tomorrow. Again, 6 a.m. UK weather forecast. I'll be a 10 to 14 day as well. Keep checking back to the channel for more. But for this one, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.